I'm a musician and can't play. Oh, wow. Let me see here. I have faintness and fatigue as a result of Epstein-Barr. All right. Now, Epstein-Barr, very easy viral to get out of the body. It goes much deeper than this, man. This is medical thinking. And this is, again, much deeper than that. Your adrenals are down. If you have a lightheadedness and stuff, it's going to be your cerebellum here. That's your lymphatic system again. Your eczema is out of control. That's the lymphatic system again. Your skin is your third kidney. You got some deep tissue work to do here, sounds like to me. So you need to get up on some fast, some fruit fast. Mind it. Not really fasting, it's just eating the foods your body's designed to eat. But get up on a fruit diet. If you have to, go on a grape fast or something. Get on the lymphatics, get into the kidneys, as we've discussed. Get into the GI tract, use the GI broom. And start pulling your lymph system clean. It's the only way you're going to find remedy here. Obviously, the adrenals are a big result here. And, of course, that then trips the kidneys, and now you have the lymphatics. Epstein-Barr viral, all virals are just advantaged things like that. Not easy to get out of the body. Deeper problems, much deeper problems than Epstein-Barr viruses. Can't play. MDs and NDs say low sugar diet. See, that's the problem. The problem is you got high fungus, just don't eat sugar. Well, that's as stupid. It's just, these are all just stupid remarks like that, because it's just, a 2-year-old could make that comment, but it's wrong thinking. Because to do that, you have to trip up to your high proteins, and then that's the reason why we have kidney problems. So you can't go that way. You can't avoid sugars because that's carbon, and carbon is the essential need of the human body. It's not about that. It's about sugar metabolism, which is your adrenal glands, and the inability to metabolize sugars. Fungus is only involved in fermentation. They're not there gobbling up your sugars. They're involved in fermentation of sugars. And that's the process you see. Go back to the experiment that I told you about. Put a handful of grapes on your kitchen counter. Put a piece of bread and a piece of cheese. Which one of those three grow mold on them first? Not the fruit. Not at all. The bread and the cheeses, they're fermented foods. The grapes only grow mold on them when? When they start to ferment. That's life going back to death, so we can use those atoms for something else. We're in a total constant rearrangement of atoms here. Have to be, because we can't grab new atoms to make life. Life is already built, so we have to rearrange atoms. So bodies have to change. In other words, bodies have to terminate and then build something else out of that, just like you would play with a Lego set. Same thing. So these MDs and NDs, and an ND that doesn't get it, disgraceful. But I've learned that's a myth, absolutely. However, I've been high fruit, low fat for a month, and my eczema is much. Well, fruit's going to kick up the mix, guy. Want to get on some herbs, this is where you're going to see the herbs come in and really help you. And that is, you've got to go after the kidneys and the adrenals. This is one of the big problems here. And then go after that lymph system. Clean up your gut. That's what you're asking anyway, and get all yourself cleaned up. You really do a lot better than trying to do this with fruit and vegetables. I think some of you guys on Facebook, just remember, and you're going to see this a lot, that diet alone just is real hard to do. In some of these cases, diet, they're just not going to spend 5 years digging into their bodies with fasting and everything else. This is the advantage of herbs completely. Try to find affordability factor and at least get on some minimal ones that focus totally on your issue. This is the issue. People spend all this money on things they're not focusing on their issues. And that's why botanical, putting your money between a supplement or a botanical formula is night and day. And the botanical formulas, you want to look for the best, the strongest, and the one specifically that addresses your problems. Well, as you've learned in these videos, just what the problems are in humans. And if you address those, you'll be very successful, my friend. Let's see. I can't eat 1/4 watermelon without feeling bloated. Well, that really, definitely, this isn't fungus in the body. I think this is something much worse. I think you're really involved lymphatically in the wall, interstitial lymphatic constipation in your gut wall. That's the only reason you would get that kind of bloating like that. You also might check pancreatic function and digested or digested foods in your stool to see if you're digesting your carbos properly. Could have a little pancreatic weakness to boot with this, but very suggestive your lymph system's backed up in the gut wall. Well, this is all just culturing medium stuff, but that would be more problematic there. Very acidic. So this shows high acidosis, so this is something you have to work out. Get on the GI broom, get stomach and bowel number, whatever you need to move your bowels. Get lymphatic 1 capsules, that'll handle that side of it. And if it was me, then I'd go into another lymphatic, say lymphatic 4 or lymph node 2, get into another kidney 1 capsules, then maybe doing a kidney number 2, and really tear this apart. Spend a few months ripping apart with the herbs and the diet, and you'll be successful. But if you're trying to do it with diet, hang in there. You're going to see skin breaking out. It could get real bad, real itchy and breaking out. I mean, when you're detoxifying, your skin can explode with itching and redness and everything else. We see that a lot, particularly if the kidneys are really closed. Your skin is going to make that up, especially if you start moving lymph. And fruit really moves lymph. I think a lot of you are getting that now. And before it was a struggle to convince some of you that fruit was the kings, and now you guys are getting it. And it's just you seeing it. Everyone I'm talking to is getting it and getting way out there in your health issues. Thinking of juice fasting, good idea. Alcohol and herbs is too much for stomach and taking, well, do the capsules, absolutely. Thoughts on Ayurvedic? Only if you use those herbs for specific, for what you need. Instead of, well, I don't go in Ayurvedic thinking with the body types and everything. I don't go in that way. I go with Homo sapiens as a species and physiology and anatomy of the Homo sapiens. Individuality simply means genetics. But I would use any herbs for my specific areas I want to work on, like kidneys, like lymphatics, like adrenals. Use those herbs for those type of problems, no matter what country you're in. Oh, Rohan, Supertramp. Hey, my friend, how are you? Back in New Zealand, man? Missing your company. Same here. It was a good dude. Did you guys like Rohan? He's a good dude here. When I have a big drink of fresh organic apple juice, I get, I was talking to Yash yesterday. He's in Thailand. I think you met him when he was here. And he is chowing down on he got first-hand look at why we have a hard time here, why I have a hard time and upset about the fact that I can't be more fruitarian. Just come down to where I am and take a look around. It's highly disappointing. Matter of fact, the states are highly disappointing when it comes to fruit eating. And he's in Thailand and everything is super fresh. And he said, I can't believe when I got back the difference I feel eating these foods over here. And I said, oh yeah, been there, done it. And that's why it's really depressing when you're trying to eat right and be right. You can't do it because of your environment and stuff. It's kind of sad stuff. Hopefully in time everything will balance out and we'll bring this the growing of fruit up there. Whenever he drinks a fresh organic apple juice, I get a hit to the chest, tightening and followed by fatigue. Oh, wow. This certainly does not happen with orange juice, and I'm wondering what you think about. Feels like a neurological hit or something. Well, that would be. I love the heart in your apple. Really, I don't know. I mean, apples are stronger than what people think. An apple a day will keep the doctor away. Apples are very powerful foods. I don't know if people realize that. You can apple juice fast, pretty good fast in and of itself. I don't know what to tell you. My first take would have been something besides organic, some chemical or something maybe causing that, a neurotoxin, because fatigue would be a neurotoxic effect. And I don't know. If you're grinding the seeds in with that, I wouldn't do it. You got cyanide in the seeds of apples and in a lot of seeds. Some people claim no big deal, but there is a lot of cyanide in them. You saw that on Dr. Oz and that controversy, so I don't know. Definitely wouldn't juice the seeds just to see if that's a problem for you. Take the seeds out, and if you still don't get that, then you know immediately it was the seeds that did that, man. So if you keep getting that hit, don't do it. Avoid it. Get away from that organic apple juice. You never know when something's organic or not organic. Not really. But keep in mind the apple seeds, not really for consumption. I don't even see primates eating seeds. We were talking about that last night with Yas. Primates don't eat generally the outer peel or the seeds. So it's just something to think about there, Rowan. I sent Jennifer a link to some good-looking. Yeah, we got that. Thank you much. Thank you much, love, from the States to New Zealand. Lip Node 2 still butt kicking me. Well, if it is, cut way back. Because I'll tell you something. That Lip Node 2 formula is very, very strong. And we don't want it to kick your liver too much either. So cut way back on it. It's not important that you master that formula. These herbs, I've learned it the hard way that herbs can do serious issues to you. So be careful. Oh, look at this. This is Glendella. She's on dialysis, I take it. Hi, Dr. Morris. This is Glenrella. Glendella. In your answer to my last question, you had trouble reading my name. Yes. The next question. When someone is on dialysis, what should I feed to them by the way of fruits, and what herbs would you suggest? P.S. Love you. Love you too from Michigan. Michiganer. Well, you know, dialysis is a pain in the ass. There's no question about that. Pardon my French. But the very procedure of dialysis is toxic. The very procedure of dialysis slams the kidneys and adrenals in and of itself. Constantly messes with your potassium and phosphorus. Not just kidney weakness does that. The dialysis procedure does that. Seen a lot of people that had perfect potassium and phosphorus levels until they went on dialysis. I've seen people that were self-urinating before they went on dialysis, and when they started dialysis, their body stopped peeing. I didn't really like that. I knew a dialysis nurse that became very sick working in dialysis, and her MD told her to get out. So all I can tell you is that you have to burn through these things. I have plenty of dialysis clients, and I put them on all raw, mostly fruit. If they're not self-urinating, and they could hold a little water, they could actually have an extra dialysis time, but they generally have it 3 days a week. Monday, Wednesday, Friday should be adequate. I don't care about potassium levels. Let the medical doctors mess with the potassium and phosphorus levels. It's a game they play. Your game is to make tissue healthy. Same diet, same everything. It doesn't matter what procedure you're on. You got to head down that road. Kidney number 1 capsules. I'd use kidney number 2 or kidney number 1 liquid with it. Definitely the lymphatics. Maybe go a little slow on the lymphatics at first, like lymphatic 1. You want to clean up the bowels, obviously. Very important connection to all the tissues is the gut. Remember the embryonic tail, the tree, and all the branches, all the organs and glands come out of the tail of the embryo, which is the gut and spinal column. So just remember how that plays out, and that all tissue basically is wrapped with gut tissue. And so that symbiotic relationship, always clean up the GI tract, always work on the kidneys and adrenals and the lymphatic system, and there ain't much that the body can't do after that. I don't care what problem or condition you're in, going down the road of health in that way, get rid of everything here. Working with dialysis clients can be tricky. If they're self-urinating, you can get them out of there quicker than later. And it's just going to sometimes be a leap of faith. Depends on the creatinine levels and things like this. If your creatinine levels are 3 or below and you're self-urinating, I'd be very cautious about doing dialysis myself. So you have to look at that. If you're doing dialysis, I highly recommend that you a dose of God's blend after dialysis to refurbish the blood. And remember, you're not doing anything for the lymph system. You're just cleaning the blood, so your lymph system continues to get worse. This is why you always see in kidney failure the gangrenes and the neuropathies and everything. It isn't a part of a friggin' disease that's made up by medical doctors. This is an actuality of what happens when kidneys don't filter the lymph and what acids do to tissue.